Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to jump on here and have a quick chat about our tomatoes and how we do them, evaluate what we've done this year and how we're going to change things again for next year. As many of you probably know, up until this year, I've been mostly germinating my tomato seedlings in Petri dishes, which has been okay up to now. But this spring we had an awful lot of problems, and there was a lot of Petri dishes that didn't germinate. I'm not quite sure whether it was the weather or what it was. Something really weird happened with the germination this year. I've never seen anything like it in 40 years of sowing seeds. Stuff just didn't come up. We had about 200 Petri dishes that nothing came up at all, which is very unusual. And it wasn't the seed, because a lot of the seed was, new seed, and even that didn't come up. I had one that was 300 seeds in a packet. I sowed it 3 times, and not a single one came up. So I don't quite know what I'm supposed to do in circumstances like that. Our biggest seller ever, Piccolo. We sell hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those. Well, about 1,000 a year. The first batch of that, 400 seeds I sowed, one came up and that died. And then I re-sowed another further 2 batches. The germination was better on those, even with the new seed, but it still wasn't great. And then 3 months down the line, that first that first lot of Piccolo started to come up. Most bizarre season, and it caused us no end of problems. It made us so late with getting the plants out, because all through April we were waiting for about 5 or 6 varieties that were on virtually every invoice. Our hands were really tied. We could just not much we could do about it. Just get on with as many orders as we could, and then try and catch up. Anyway, as I say, we've always grown in those Petri dishes up to now, which has been okay, but it's a struggle to keep them alive when the weather gets really hot later in the summer. You've got to constantly keep them wet, and it's not ideal. Towards the end of the season, to help me out, I did order a few plugs in from Thompson and Morgan, and it was very interesting, the plug that they were in. It was a very sort of spongy plug, and it kind of held really well. And it was, when I repotted them, they grew away so fast, it was unreal. I'm just going to turn the camera around a minute so I can show you the different things I've got here in front of me. Hang on a minute, it's not turning around. Right, that's better. Right, this is the plugs that we bought in last year, and as you can see, even now, this is like 3 months on, they're still looking quite decent plants. So they seem to hold really well in them. This is the plug. This is the plug when it's empty. It's kind of like really sort of soft and spongy. I'm not going to use quite that size plug. That's some samples they've just sent me. It's going to be a 144 tray rather than a 104 tray, which is this is. This is how we've used to do the tomatoes. Even these, these were saying about 3 4 months ago. So they're still holding quite well. I've still got a few knocking about now. When we pot on into these 6 centimetre coir pots, and the plants grow really well in those, and they hold for a long time. These were potted probably about June. Towards the end of the season, we do sometimes do a few in 9 centimetre pots, just so we got some bigger ones at the end of the season. So anyway, that's the 3 formats that we do them in. And our plants do really well. If you're not a member of my Facebook group, if you join my Facebook group, which is the I think it's the gardening and tomato, or vegetable and tomato advice group on Facebook. You will see on there lots of people posting pictures of their tomatoes they've harvested from our plants. And I've got my own ones growing here, and you want to see the sides of them. These were planted middle of July, and these ones this side were mostly planted beginning of June. But look at them, they're cropping. They go flowering. I don't know how many tomatoes I'm actually going to get off them being so late, but it's just an experiment that I'm trying to do at the moment. As you can see, there's lots and lots of flowers coming on. There's lots of tomatoes coming on. I've got some really big ones coming on there. That's Mariana's Piece. And there's some nice ones under there. So yeah, it's... Let me just switch the camera back. So yeah, it was a challenging season last year, no doubt about it. But as I say, for next year, we're going to go onto these plugs, and I think that will make germination a lot better. I'm not going to send any orders out until after the beginning of April, because there's just no point me trying to even try to try and get them out in mid-March onwards, because I just don't have the facilities. It's not, although I've got a lovely, nice big greenhouse here, it's very difficult to heat it. So it's better that I leave it until a little bit later, and then we all get better plants, and hopefully they'll grow away nicely. we are starting to get orders already for next year. So if you want to be at the head of the queue, you need to be starting to think about ordering your tomato plants fairly soon, because we are starting to get orders coming in already. I will be launching a new website at some point over the winter, which will have a lot more features on it. And I'm also possibly thinking about doing an exclusive club where, if you, for a small membership fee, you will get priority delivery. You'll get your prices held for 2 years. You will get a priority email for emailing me during the season, and things like that, just to sort of reward the loyalty of my most loyal customers, and people that want to be sort of a regular customer. As I say, hopefully we will have a much better season next year. We can only hope, and we look forward to sending your plants out to you next spring. Thank you very much. Bye.